This episode begins with Saitou and his team trying to kill these monsters. But Reincarnated can't stand up to these snotty creatures. So Saitou decides to eliminate them, so the sorcerer and lava help him fight until Saitou can slaughter them. Then the sorcerer asks him what he will do with these monsters. Saitou replied that he would take them to bring them to lunch. Everyone is shocked by his words, and the warlock tells him that he tried to eat this food in the past, but it tasted very bad. He told Saitou to wait and see what he would do. And Saitou goes to a sword shop and asks his friend for needles used by assassins. She asks him if he will kill Reincarnated with her, and he replies that he only needs her to eat. Saitou returns to them and begins to prepare food, as he cuts the monster's stomach and cleans it. Then he took her meat from her and started grilling them. And his friends know that when grilling this meat, they must turn it over a lot so that if there is fat or any toxic substances in it, they are removed in the best way. The conjurer and lava are impressed by what he does because he can do everything. Mealtime comes and they all eat except for Reincarnated. They are very happy because they have never eaten such food before. They ask Reincarnated to try it, and when she eats it, she likes it a lot and eats more and more of it. So the sorcerer asked Saitou to open his restaurant to make a lot of money, so Saitou told him that it would be bad to eat a lot of these monsters so that they do not become extinct. After that, they go to search for treasures, and they see a box in front of them, but he asks his friends to leave him because he does not want to take risks, and something may happen to them. And they go to another box and Saitou finds 3 wires in it, one of which is connected to a trap. Saitou tries to be careful while cutting these wires, but he cuts the wrong wire. And it comes down to Reincarnated, a mucus substance that dissolves metals. Reincarnated's armor is eroded and her body enlarges significantly. And Reincarnated remembers that when she was young, she used to work as a priestess, and she was only good at using magic to a small extent. She was with one of the women of the elf, and they were fighting these monsters, and the woman of the elf was wounded in her face. So Reincarnated goes to her to heal her wounds with magic being poured from her hands.
どれどれ毒煙爆弾ここまで雑だと逆切ったかも金属だけを溶かすスライム殴れ生来の才能に悲観してても仕方ないだろ魔法を使えないエルフが珍しい仲間に魔法をかけて
取り立てて高い能力は持ち合わせて
And we go to another kingdom. This king sits on his throne, and next to him is his minister. And this king decides to go to his people to talk to them. When he went, a group of soldiers came to rebel against the king, but they were waiting for him to go. The minister can get rid of them. When the king returns, the minister asks if something happened here in his palace. The minister denied this, but the king did not believe him, because he was good at petrification magic, and it is certain that he did that. The minister said to him, "Don't worry about them, they will come and take them from here." And ask him what he did with the demon king. The king said to him, "Is this something you are talking about in front of the person you are talking about?" Do we find that the king of demons sits in front of them and asks the king, "When will you execute your people?" He replied, "I do not do this with people I agree with." And this boy enters the king and the guard says, "Is this the knight who was appointed to replace the commander who rebelled?" He looks young and handsome. And the king talks to him and says, "You can relax when we are alone. And take off this mask and be the king of demons."
国軍団支配本人目の前にして言うさ仮に新しく配属された騎士かいいの
And we move to the warlock and ask for help from Lava to heal his back with her magic. But she refuses to help him. Saitou says, "Help him, don't you feel sorry for him?" She told him, "I'm asking for a fee for non-fatal injuries, that's what it is." Saitou says, "I will pay for him." She told him that the recipient of the treatment should be the one who pays. Reincarnated tells her none of you to have time to waste in this discussion. Indeed, Lava helps the juggler after he takes the money. Saitou says that Lava is so obsessed with money that she divides all treasures equally. Saitou and Railsa watch Lava, and Saitou is surprised. What are you doing? Railsa told him that Lava was a fairy of moonlight and her kind was cursed by the moon goddess. Unless they offer offerings of golden pieces on the night of the full moon, their bodies will become smaller. When we first met, she was twice the size. And if you do nothing, it will be the size of sand after 5 years. In the beginning, fairies of moonlight lived on the moon, but they displayed their beauty excessively publicly and angered the moon gods. It is said that they were cursed and sent down to earth. Saitou says, but it is not Lava's fault. Railsa told him it wouldn't change the fact that she was born to that cursed race. And City says give my share of treasures to Ava. She told him, no, Lava, she hates receiving favors more than anything else. And they go to Danjin to search for treasure chests, and Seti asks Lava to cast a blessing on the chest. She told him she would pay me. Saitou agrees with her students and gives them money. Saitou opens the box and says maybe I made a mistake. Then what? Said Railsa. We see Saitou and Railsa enter the box. The warlock says it's a transfer trap. And they appear in a place and Saitou says where are we? Railsa says I'm afraid we're in the lower level of the big maze. Of course, Lava and the old man are in the same place. But that's a bad way to separate. If Lava and the old man were here, we'd be able to locate us by magic. In this group, Saitou says, Railsa is our only warrior. She always serves as our shield. And the only thing I can do is help Morlock with his spell lines. On their way, they meet this huge monster, an iron golem. And Railsa tells Seti, don't ever get ahead of me, whatever happens, and if you lose, run away on your own. Railsa says I am facing a magical creature that can only be created by a level 1 mage. Even if I could defeat him, I would buy Saitou time. Railsa attacks the monster, but nothing affects it. And the monster hits her and tells Saitou to run away. And attack him again, but it does not affect him. Saitou helps her and attacks him with this bottle and throws this green liquid at him. And we see the monster hit Saitou and he passed out. Since my childhood, I was more skilled than most of my peers. I'm good at sports and studying too, and without realizing I become a rather useful person. But I felt happy when I found that everyone needed me in this world. We see Railsa very worried and say the longer it passes after death, the lower the success rate of the magic of the living. What about the magic of preserving his body? And you remember Railsa and give her this bottle of life drops? The old man said that it is difficult to treat the existing scars. You need life drops and angel wing scales as a catalyst. Railsa helps and gives it to her. Saitou wakes up and says, Lava, did you cure me with your magic? She told him no, Railsa used a very rare magic medicine. Saitou says I am sorry, I was a burden to you.
魔法生物
大好物だろ。
界で死んだ。落とされて。そこそこ便利だけど、代わりはだけど、決して。この世界で。
立つほど蘇生魔法の成功率。
もう一つが見つかる触媒として生命の雫。
私は。
待ってたら間に合わなかったよ。